Somebody had sent me this video, and it says, Dawn of the Scams. Well, it's by Illuminati. Interesting. The never-ending saga of Brittany Dawn. Somebody asked me to look into it, see what's going on here. I don't know anything about Brittany Dawn, but, you know, people like it when, for some reason, I look into, like, bizarre stuff that's, like, super out of my wheelhouse. Like beauty stuff and foodie beauty and, you know, Bingus and, you know, all these other people and all these other whatever. So I'm curious. You know, this woman looks very interesting. She looks like she enjoys either carrots or excessive amounts of makeup. So yeah, Dawn of the Scams. Let's see what we got here. This is Brittany Dawn.
The holidays are just around the corner, and HelloFresh makes this busy time of year easier than ever with chef-crafted recipes and pre-portioned ingredients delivered right to your door.
Wow.
Get 70% off plus free shipping with code MLM70 at hellofresh.com/MLM70.
Well, it came right at us in the beginning.
At this point, if you're virtually anywhere on social media, from YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, you've probably heard of the infamous fitness influencer who's being sued by the state of Texas for scamming her customers.
Not at all. I didn't know about this at all. She's a fitness mess? Me too. My body looks terrible.
Brittany Dawn. For years, her story of promising services and wildly under-delivering has been everywhere.
What services she promised?
Even Good Morning America covered it. Over the years, a whole array of things has come out about the fitness guru turned Christian influencer, with each new revelation being seemingly more concerning than the last.
Okay.
People have accused her of all sorts of things, to include animal abuse. First, when she decided to spontaneously rehome a pit bull puppy who she had been very clearly using for social media clout for weeks, that stirred up a bunch of drama.
I mean, why else would you get a dog? Unless you're going to put it on TikTok or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's no other reason to get a dog nowadays. What did they do to abuse the dog, though? Like, I mean, just because they got a dog and put pictures up of the dog on TikTok or whatever, Instagram, doesn't mean that they're abusing the dog. It's just a cute, we have cute thing, just cute, funny life moments or something. I don't know. I did the wrong thing. You know what I mean? That's like normal, is not?
Only to follow that incident up with seemingly deciding to monetize the horrifying story of her next dog. The world was shocked when Brittany decided to suddenly share a video detailing the events that led to her newest puppy's death. Unfortunately, when left unattended, the dog got loose.
Did the dog get into her protein powder? Maybe a little too much creatine, guys. That's basically steroids. That's a joke. But, okay.
And was hit by a car. The normal reaction, at least for most people, would be to bring the dog to a vet. Either they could save it or put it down humanely. Instead, Brittany recounts a story of her husband deciding to shoot the dog shortly after they found it. Rightfully so, people were disgusted.
Well, listen, you guys can be as upset and as offended as you want, but you know what? Like, okay. I mean, I don't know what the legality of it is, but, you know, if the dog got hit by a car and they weren't going to, you know, give it surgery and whatnot, then I don't think that there's anything wrong with the husband shooting it. I mean, like, it's sad, but at the end of the day, what's the difference between shooting the dog versus bringing it to the vet? To euthanize it, you know what I mean? Like realistically, like, what's the true difference? It's sad, but it's sad, man. That's just sad. It's just a sad situation, and like, I'd never want to do that, but like, I could see why somebody might do that. It's just sad if they get hit that bad. It's weird. Who cares if it's weird? Like, no, you guys are so weird. Like, that's such a here's my thing. What's bothering me most about anything is that you guys are like, no, bring it to the vet and have them euthanize it. But you doing it yourself, that's weird. Why is it weird? It makes me sad, and it genuinely, like, it's upsetting. I feel it here. Truly, not even trolling. But, like, life is hard. And also, I'm not paying $80 for them to inject the dog with some serum. You know what I mean? All jokes aside, like, I get it. You know what I mean? So, it's just sad, you know?
This news came to light, people started to dig a little deeper into the background of the man who decided that taking an injured dog to the vet was not the best option.
Well, you just said, wait, what? They got hit by a car. You just said that one of the options could have been to put the dog down at the vet. So what are you talking about? Unless you're saying that the dog was barely hurt. That would be different. But you made it seem like they got really hurt by the car.
Those same internet sleuths would be amazed to learn of his abhorrently questionable background.
What did he do?
Former police officer Jordan Nelson had...
Oh, that's all it takes. He's a police officer. He's guilty. BLM. Let's see what he did.
Sued by the ACLU after a video of him using excessive force spread across social media.
Police brutality against black Kansas City man. Okay.
Jordan, who stopped a man after a call from dispatch describing a black man in black clothing, seemed to act erratically when he decided, with no apparent provocation and absolutely no warning, to throw the man to the ground and smash his face into concrete.
Hey, typical police officer. I'm not surprised.
No call from
are we talking about this as an epic racism moment? Because I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Police officers, they did, we got to respect police officers because they all got C's in high school, Where can I even look into this? Okay.
From dispatch describing a black man in black clothing seemed to act erratically when
What's this guy's name?
Would be amazed to learn of his abhorrently questionable background. A former police officer, Jordan Nelson,
Jordan? Goodness. Let's see. Police brutality. I want to read the article. Let's see. Black man in Missouri. Okay. Black people in Missouri are disproportionately stopped or harassed by police. 20 years ago, collected issues. Black drivers are stopped at 85% higher than white drivers, and too many police departments across the state. Okay. Josh Bills, a black man living in Kansas, found himself at the receiving end of discount of his 2013, walking blocks from his home. Bills was approached by 5 officers who surrounded him. He was greeted officers calmly. He stood with his hands down. He did not act aggressively. Police stopped him because of a call about a black man in black clothing. Then the encounter went south. It's a scene. Okay, that sounds pretty bad. The officer, Jordan Nelson, without warning, grabbed one of Bill's arms and violently kicked his legs out from under him. Okay, that sounds pretty sussy. Is there a video that we could watch? Is this a video? Just trying to see if it's a video. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. I honestly don't feel like I can really talk about it unless there's like a ruling, because I don't know how much of it is potentially racist. I wouldn't be surprised how much of it is racism oriented, or how much of it is potentially justified. I really just don't know. I'm going to look into it, but if I can't find it, I can't really weigh in on the specifics. Every time I try to look for something, it's the weirdest website ever. They were sued for police brutality, I think. Yeah, okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to find anything. Let's keep going.
Had been sued by the ACLU after a video of him using excessive force spread across social media. Jordan,
I want to try to look at the video,
who stopped a man after a call from dispatch describing a black man in black clothing, seemed to act erratically when he decided, with no apparent provocation and absolutely no warning, to throw the man to the ground and smash his face into concrete. As the man laid on the pavement, injured and motionless, Jordan decided to act out the event to his fellow officers instead of calling for any type of medical attention. I haven't seen much of an update on the case itself, but let's just say he's not a cop anymore, which is probably...
Arrest captured on a police dash cam has now led to a lawsuit against a former Kansas City, Missouri police officer. The ACLU filed the case accusing the officer of using excessive force.
Okay.
KMBC9's Kelly Eckerman just talked to an attorney on the case.
The lawsuit is against former police officer Jordan Nelson. The ACLU filed on behalf of Joshua Bills. You're about to see video of what happened between the two men during an arrest 5 years ago. You may find this video difficult to watch. This just-released police dashcam video shows 5 officers responding to a report of a suspicious person. This is in the 2100 block of East 34th Street in Kansas City. They approach Joshua Bills. The ACLU contends what happens next speaks for itself.
Jesus Christ!
He's not acting aggressively, and instead of just putting him in...
Okay. Wow.
Speaks for itself.
Doesn't have a weapon. He's not acting aggressively.
Fucking dude, this head, it looks like it hit that snow so hard it fucking exploded.
And instead of just putting him in handcuffs, 5 officers approach him and one swipes his legs out and face first on the concrete.
The plaintiff, Joshua Bills, claims he was walking in his neighborhood when this happened about 6 in the evening in December of 2013.
Wow.
Documents include a picture of his bloody face after in sorting out what happened and what didn't happen.
He goes like this. He goes.
That there's no way that's warranted.
Here you see the officer charged in this case reenacting the arrest for other officers.
I was like, all right, dude. Whoa.
Seems to me that...
And it sounds like they're bragging about it afterwards. Wow. That is horrible. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I mean, there's no justification for that. That was fucking insane. Oh My God. Okay, let's continue.
For the best. But today's episode isn't going to be about Brittany's husband.
Wow.
It's just going to be about Brittany herself. And unsurprisingly, with a whole host of drama.
I mean, it still doesn't change my perspective on the dog thing, but that is certainly fucked up.
Brittany's decided to pivot to become a Christian influencer. This abhorrent news about her husband had little to no effect on her ability to make money or gain a new massive following. She kept pushing right along, selling hundreds of tickets to a Christian woman's getaway and posting videos consistently sharing God's word. The story of Brittany Dawn has been...
It sounds a little gay, just saying. You know, a Christian, like a Christian. Every time there's a Christian gendered thing, I was like, that's a little gay. Christian woman's thing. You guys are trying to les out. I can tell. You know what I mean? You know, all boys Christian camp. Come on, we all know what happens there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We've all been there before. You know.
Been told time and time again. But we're not just going to focus on these particular issues. Instead, I want to understand the grift and how influencers scam their followers. Is this just a one-time occurrence? Or is it a major issue emerging in the online influencer community? What the hell happened with Brittany Dawn, and is she alone?
I don't know. She sounds like she has a husband. It's a little bit of a dad joke there for you guys. Okay. The fitness scam.
Hello and welcome to Multi-Level Mondays. I'm the Illuminati, and today we're going to be talking about the world of influencer scams, starting with the now infamous Brittany Dawn. Now, in 2014, Brittany Dawn, a beautiful, fit, charismatic woman, came blasting onto the scene quickly, amassing hundreds of thousands of followers on nearly every social media platform, including YouTube, Instagram, and later on, TikTok. She seemed like someone that had her whole life together. Her outfits, her hair, and just everything seemed perfect. So when she started selling
she really just does not look that good. I don't know. Okay, whatever.
Fitness programs that promised her loyal followers that they could reach all of their goals, dreams, and get the healthiest they've been in their entire life, many jumped at the opportunity. And I mean, who wouldn't? How many times have you seen a friend or someone you follow?
So far, this sounds like it's just going to be like the typical fucking influencer. Wait, that wasn't the final round? Oh, okay. I thought it was. I've had way too much money. I'm going to win anyway. Anyway, like I was going to say, that just kind of seems like the typical, you know, bullshit influencer selling point, you know?
Post about their incredible lives and maybe hope or wish that that was you, just even a sliver of it. When someone offers people the opportunity to make their lives even a marginally more incredible than what they see online, many people do jump at the chance regardless of the cost, which from Brittany Dawn Fitness LLC was a pretty steep cost, if I do say so myself. Now, Brittany advertised multiple training and nutrition plans that ranged anywhere from $92 to $300 per month. Compared to other personal trainers or nutritional coaches, this actually appears to be a steal. On average, those types of services can cost anywhere from $400 to $1,000 per month.
Well, you know what? Most personal trainers are just trying to fucking... I feel like most personal trainers aren't that good. They usually... I mean, I don't know, bro. I feel like a coach is better. Like a personal trainer, a lot of them try to like outclass you. They're like, oh, look, you can't handle my workout. No shit, asshole. That's what I'm paying you. And they have you doing like weird shit that you don't really understand, so that like you feel like you have to keep going back to them and you can never learn yourself. So it's weird stuff.
Of course, those are from actual certified trainers. You know, people that took a bunch of classes and learned how to safely coach people, which Brittany did not. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Okay. For all of her packages, the lifestyle influencer promised that she would be actively involved and create personalized plans to help anyone and everyone reach their dream fitness goals. She was trusted by all of her followers and customers, especially those who had...
I would absolutely not expect her to do anything that's personalized at all. Well, first of all, you don't really need something like super personalized. Like you can get a decent cookie cutter routine will help most people, unless you have like a particular issue. Like if you have like a shoulder impingement or something, that's when you need to get it. For the most part, like people, especially at like the beginning levels, it doesn't really matter what you do necessarily. It just matters that you do something.
Previously suffered from eating disorders. She had actually been extremely open about followers and customers, especially those who had previously suffered from eating disorders. She had actually been extremely open about her experience with her own eating disorder, so many believed that she would be especially helpful in assisting them overcome their own struggles, and that she must have had specific training on how to safely lead them to a healthier lifestyle, both mentally and physically.
Why would they expect the specific training part? Does she claim that she does training, like that she's specifically like certified? Because if not, she would just be using her own anecdotal experience. That would be the general expectation.
Unfortunately, she didn't, and those supposed personalized plans weren't all what they were cracked up to be either. Instead of receiving individualized plans, many people who purchased the influencer's product began to realize something was off. And that's because everyone was actually getting the same thing,
Yeah, why did they... So I didn't see it. Did she actually advertise like individual plans? I wouldn't expect a super individualized plan. Like how much... There's not that much of a difference, like variance between, you know, different... I guess dieting techniques and whatnot that you would need, but okay.
But all tailored to their individual needs. They had been instructed to take surveys. They should have been getting something specific.
Oh, if they were taking a survey, they probably got like an array of like 3 different cookie cutter things. If they were getting like a survey, I mean, this is how it would make sense to me. Let's say they give out a survey. There's going to be like, this is how it would make the most sense to me, right? You have like your base routine. All these people are new to the gym, so they don't know dick about shit. You're going to put them all on the same thing. You need to teach them like technique and whatever, right? Then let's say you answered like a question and you were doing an exercising, but you're like, oh, I have a shoulder impingement. Like, okay, you know what? Then instead of doing like overhead press, we're just going to stick to this person doing like a machine press or something, or just like isolation and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's like, okay, so it's not really that personalized. I wouldn't expect a hyper personalized thing. Did she advertise it as super personalized? I don't know. Okay.
Just for them. But those surveys were obviously a waste of time and a front to make the business plan look more legit, more individualized than it was in reality. And as for the coaching, that was also missing. Instead of private instructions or weekly check-ins like she originally advertised, many found it near impossible to actually get in touch with her. And when they did, they received vague messages like, "That's my girl," or "You got this, babe."
Okay, that's funny. All right.
It's not like she was checking in to see if everything was going as planned or if people were meeting their goals. Instead, the messages seemed more like auto-responses that were periodically sent to customers to make it seem like she was paying them even the slightest bit of attention. One woman who was interviewed by Good Morning America said that she paid for a plan that included multiple coaching sessions with Brittany by phone, but that never happened. And like so many others, she simply got messages saying things like, "Oh girl, you're doing so great." She said, "But like, how am I doing great? Because I'm not losing weight and inches aren't going anywhere." And I'm just going to say it. If I paid that much money for someone to coach me on how to live a healthier life, I would be absolutely furious if they never checked in with me. I mean, the diet plan could be horribly affecting my mood or my health, and my fitness plan could be either too hard or maybe even too easy. Fitness plans need to be tailored to people for a reason. That's because we're all different.
They don't really need to be that tailored. I'm not trying to be an asshole. They don't need to be that tailored, but that if that's what her promise was, then they do. We're all not that different. Like, we could all lose weight doing the same thing for the most part. There's obviously some dietary issues, like for instance, like you can or can't eat a particular bit of food, or maybe like, especially men versus women. Women tend to, I think, like a little bit more carbs in their diet, but also women won't, like, usually I think women tend to like benefit more from higher rep ranges and stuff. I'm just trying to see. It's more the promise that she has that I'm more curious about. Like, I'm trying to look for like the explicit spot where she's like, "Oh, I promised to do this thing." 90-day individual. Yeah, okay. I have this here. 90-day. Okay, so it's individualized macros and training. Individualized doesn't necessarily mean like super custom. Hit books, volume, self-guide training plans, whatever. Okay, whatever. So she's selling. I'm just trying to look at this real quick.
Compared to other personal trainers or nutritional coaches, this actually appears to be a steal. On average, those types of services can cost anywhere from $400 to $1,000 per month. Of course, those are from actual certified trainers. You know, people that took a bunch of classes and learned how to safely coach people, which Brittany did not, but I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. For all of her packages, the lifestyle influencer promised that she would be actively involved and create personalized plans to help anyone and everyone reach their dream fitness goals. She was trusted by all of
Where does it say that? Like, where does it show that? That's the only thing I'm like having
her followers and customers, especially those who had previously suffered.
I don't see where she's promising that.
Her entire life, many jumped at the opportunity. When she started selling fitness,
this training plan,
and later beautiful, fit, charismatic woman came blasting onto the scene quickly, amassing hundreds of thousands of followers on nearly every social media platform, including YouTube, Instagram, and later on, TikTok. She seemed like someone that had her whole life together. Her outfits, her hair, and just everything seemed perfect. So when she started selling fitness programs that...
All right, so this training plan is built to be performed in the comfort of your home. You will find a list below of minimal equipment that is required. Good luck. Don't be scared. Nowhere here does it say it's...
promised her loyal followers that they could...
Doesn't say it's personalized. This is awesome. 21 count recipe book, blah, ingredients. Okay.
Reach all of their goals, dreams, and get the healthiest they've been in their entire life. Many jumped at the opportunity. And I mean, who wouldn't? How many times have you seen a friend or someone you follow post about their incredible lives and maybe hope or wish that
shit on our page? Yeah, I don't know, but I get that. But like, was it in the video? Am I missing it? Because I'm not seeing anywhere where it's like this super targeted thing.
Was you, just even a sliver of it. When someone offers people the opportunity to make their lives even a marginally more incredible than what they see online, many people do jump at the chance regardless of the cost, which from Brittany Dawn Fitness LLC was a pretty steep cost, if I do say so myself. Now, Brittany advertised multiple training and nutrition plans that ranged anywhere from $92 to $300 per month. Compared to other personal trainers or nutritional coaches, this actually appears to be a steal. On average,
the whole lawsuit based on this. Okay, that's fair. I mean, I'll look at the lawsuit. I'm just trying to find it in this video. I mean, this is the video I'm watching. You know what I'm saying?
Services can cost anywhere from $400 to $1,000 ahead of myself. For all of her packages, the lifestyle influencer promised that she would be actively involved and create personalized plans to help anyone and everyone reach their dream fitness goals. She was trusted by all of her followers and customers, especially...
they're not showing us that. That's the only problem I have. Let me continue.
Therefore, different things are going to work for us. So that's kind of the whole point of purchasing a personalized plan. You got this, babe, would drive me up a fucking wall. As people began to
for sure, I just wish I could read the specifics of the plan. That's really what I'm looking for.
Realize that something wasn't quite right, they tried to sound the alarm. However, negative comments, reviews, or messages seem to be quickly snuffed out and sent to oblivion, never to be seen by the rest of the world. Now, does that sound like someone who's running a legitimate business? Because it doesn't to me. Unfortunately for Brittany, though, her victims decided they were not going to be silenced. She could block whoever she wanted, but they were going to warn other people what was going on. Soon, the Facebook group named Brittany Dawn Fitness Complaints was created and absolutely blew up. Eventually, it reached over 5,000 followers, with people trading their stories of the now apparent scam. 5,000 people were roped into this.
All right, so I'm just reading this. So Brittany Dawn Davis, a fitness and Christianity influencer from Fort Worth, is being sued by the state of Texas for promising her followers personalized exercise and nutrition plans that never materialized. Being sued by the state. Ooh, okay, well that's okay. Davis' website promised unsophisticated clients that Brittany Dawn crew would be with them every step of the way, but instead her followers received generic diet and workout plans not unique. The state believes the amount to deceptive trade practices and is seeking damages. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, the lawsuit hasn't finished, so it's possible that she's innocent. But I will say, it's pretty incredible that Texas is suing her. It's not a person; this fucking state is suing her. So that's quite a thing. Do they have? They don't have any. There's no like resolution to this, huh? I'm not seeing a resolution. Okay, let's continue.
Even if we're being conservative and saying everyone bought the low-scale version of her plan, Brittany would have been making $460,000. That's just the people that complained, by the way. I'm sure there's many more people who didn't join. We have to figure that there were probably a lot more people out there that had been robbed, so I'm just saying, this is one hell of a scam. But the jig was up, and people had figured her out. By February 2019, the influencer turned scammer was all over the national news. Now everyone knew who she was and what she was about. Eventually, it got so bad that she actually issued an apology. But refunds? Those were apparently...
What did the apology just say? She said, at times it got extremely overwhelming and I took on more than I should have. Okay, I guess that's fair, but...
out of the question. People began posting screenshots of customer service representatives offering only 50% refunds. So half your money back when you got absolutely nothing you were promised. How...
That's not necessarily true. I mean, if they still got the diet plan and whatnot, it would make they got something out of it. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm just saying that's something to keep in mind.
Wonderful. However, Brittany claimed everything was on the up and up, and her team was doing everything to help her past customers. She told Insider that everything was being handled on a case-by-case basis, saying, "My team and I remain steadfast in our approach to examine each and every customer that is reaching out to my company. My brand has and will continue to examine and address legitimate claims and issue refunds as needed on a case-by-case basis as quickly as we can process the information." And something about that just doesn't sound quite right. Is this the same person that was blocking people that complained about her scammy program and pointed out the various flaws? That just doesn't seem like someone that was addressing claims. Neither does refunding 50% for scamming the hell out of your clients. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a fitness influencer. I'm merely a pyramid. But even with that carefully crafted PR statement and apology video posted on YouTube, which is now conveniently missing too, Brittany was losing sponsors left and right. Nutrition companies, clothing brands, and even a mattress store dropped her and asked her to stop using their links on social media accounts.
I'm trying to find where, like if there was ever a resolution to this lawsuit. Because I got the sue part, but I'm trying to see if there was like ever a resolution to this. Just trying to find that.
Before long, she started to finally do some damage control. Her entire brand seemed to miraculously change overnight, and we will get to that. And she suddenly started to actually refund customers. One small problem though, anyone that wanted that refund was actually asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Interesting. I mean, that would make sense. I think this is kind of par for the course. I'm reading some of this stuff, like her workout plans. It's just so stupid. Holy fuck. Actually very funny. I feel bad for people off of this. I'm trying to see if I can get this image here. I'm reading her, like some of her workout plans, and it's so funny to me. It's kind of sad, but what's funny to me is that this is on like Pinterest, but it's basically just like pretty generic stuff. So, it's basically just exercises for like a particular weight or sets. That's it. So it's like Smith machine press, 20, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6. It'll just tell you to do like, oh, barbell squats, 15, 12, 10. Just telling people to basically do what's called a pyramid set. But like you can't, that's not how that's not how a routine works. Like if I told you to go to the gym and it's like, hey guys, go bench like fucking 4 sets of 8 to 12, right? That's basically the information she's giving us. Even if she said like, you know, a set of 10, 8, 8, 5, fucking 3, whatever. What weight are you supposed to use? Like what weight do you use, right? Like what percentages do you potentially use? Like how much do you increase from the 10, 8, 8, 5, 3, right? Because you're not going to just start at one weight and go up. Or you will do that, right? How much do you increase to the next workout? You know, like what do you increase? Because you have to like do progressive overload to get more results. It's just so fun. It's also probably way too much stimulation for a new person just working out. But
a customer, Paige Larson, shared an email from Brittany after asking for a refund that read, "My attorney will also be asking anyone who is refunded to sign an NDA agreement for confidentiality purposes from this point moving forward to protect my name, my brand, and my business in any future situation in person or online. The disclosure will need to be signed before the refund can be made." Now, maybe I'm insane, but is this not just a bit sketchy? Even if it is, though, people rightfully want.
I guess. I mean, it's pretty. I think if given the circumstances, it might be somewhat normal. I mean, it's like a damage control thing, so.
Refunds, and so many did sign without a second thought. Maybe Brittany was thinking this little plan would save her from any legal action moving forward, since there were talks of class action lawsuits in the works. She would soon learn that it didn't when, in February 2022, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton decided to file a lawsuit, and oh boy, it was worse than anyone knew.
The lawsuit.
As news started trickling down to the world that Brittany Dawn was now officially facing repercussions for scamming her customers, there was more information about the toll that a fake fitness instructor and nutritionist can have on people's lives. Do you remember when I said people look to her for specific treatment plans for eating disorder? Well, she obviously did not have the expertise to do that. And with every plan looking virtually the same, people were thrust into living lifestyles that
I just wish that they could show us where she specifically said these things, you know what I mean? Just so that I can like verify that she's like, yeah, I can give you all this specific blah blah blah, and like such a specific. I don't know. I just wish that I had a little bit more to operate on.
Adversely affected both their physical and mental health. Around 14 people who were mentioned in the lawsuit complaint had suffered from eating disorders. One went to Brittany after following online and believing the hype from the influencer herself that she was an eating disorder soldier who would help her with her restrictive eating disorder.
At least 14 customers mentioned in the complaint who sought refunds from Davis are people with eating disorders. One said that Davis's social media presence and self-identification as an eating disorder soldier led them to believe that she had a special training to address her conditions. One woman who had a restrictive eating disorder and told Davis she wanted to increase her calorie intake said Davis gave her a meal plan that had a significantly lower calorie count than what she'd been previously eating. The lawsuit document said that Davis denied accepting customers with eating disorders. I guess that she would probably say like, oh, well, they didn't explicitly tell me that or something. I don't really know. Okay.
Hoping for some badly needed assistance from someone who hopefully could understand, she bought a plan from Brittany and made her aware that her goal was to increase her caloric intake. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. Instead, Brittany sent her a plan with a significantly lower caloric intake than what she had been eating previously and then just sent her on her way. I can't even fathom handing someone who is upfront with you about their struggles and their goals an eating plan that would undeniably make that disorder worse. What type of person does this exactly? Well, Brittany Dawn does apparently. That's who. Why in the world would she think something like this was okay? One person cited in the complaint
She probably just doesn't really get it. I doubt she even had an eating disorder, to be honest with you. Like people do that shit all the time. Not the client, her. Like she probably just said she had an eating disorder. She probably self-diagnosed herself. You know what I mean? She's like, I had an eating disorder because or when the reality is like she probably just had like a bad relationship with food or something. And even if she did have one, it doesn't mean it's to the same degree or it's the same one as somebody else would have. It's obviously why you would need some kind of training.
Completed her initial survey writing, I truly need guidance, help, the right information and support right now. I currently have an eating disorder, horrible body image views. I am underweight for my height. Instead of responding with any type of compassion whatsoever, or, I don't know, referring the person to resources that they specifically asked for, Brittany instead responded by telling the distressed person this. Great, welcome to the hashtag Team Brittany Dawn family. And right off the bat, that seems like an automated.
Oh my God, it is definitely an automated. What an idiot. Oh my God. Wow.
Message to me.
Okay.
At least I honestly hope it was, because no one with any type of empathy whatsoever would ever respond to that first message by just saying, great. I am praying this was simply sent out to every single person that filled out the survey. Otherwise, I'm absolutely disgusted. And
oh, it was them filling out a survey. Oh, I thought it was like a specific individual message. Okay, so that's not that bad. In this instance, it's like, okay, so she filled out a survey, just like everybody else does when they, I guess, sign up for the plan. And then she got an automated message saying like, hey, great, thanks for starting the team. That's normal. That's like a normal thing that happens. Like, you know, I mean, if it, you know what I mean? Like, if that's like an automated, like instantaneous response, like it happens all the time to everybody. Like you sign up, oh, hey guys, you sign up for the Expressions, club member, and they're like, great, here's a free dildo. You know what I mean? That's somewhat normal for any like rewards type program or something. I wouldn't expect that. Now, if afterwards she was promised like individualized shit and she's like, hey, I have this specific issue, and then she sent an automated response, that'd be a little bit different. But in this instance, it seems like this is actually just like the recruitment response. But okay.
Genuinely at a loss for words. Still, Brittany did the same thing yet again, sending the customer a low-calorie diet plan and excessive cardio workout that would be specifically designed for someone wanting to lose weight, not gain weight. Despite all of this, she actually suggests that she refused people with eating disorders, a statement that, according to witnesses, was demonstrably untrue. Regardless, the plans sent out by Brittany were just unhealthy and unrealistic in the first place. Some customers said they almost passed out from hunger.
Damn.
Others said they were suffering from malnutrition and tried to reach out to Brittany for help. It took her a full month to respond, and when she finally did, she scolded the customer for not letting her know how bad the hunger was earlier. Though all of this is horrific, it
Can you show that to us? I don't know. Okay.
doesn't play as big of a role in the lawsuit as one might hope. Instead, the real issue present in the lawsuit is the influencer lying to customers and failing to deliver the product that she had promised. For this, she is facing $250,000 to $1 million in penalties and fees. And that's at
Well, if she's making like $400,000 a month, then she should be just fine.
Maximum only 2 months of her low estimated revenue. The Brittany saga continues as this lawsuit plays its course, but it serves as an excellent reminder that scams online, especially from influencers, are everywhere. Brittany is just part of the problem, a problem that is growing seemingly at the speed of light.
Speed of... Oh, that's not right there. Fuck. All right.
Influencer marketing has taken over the world. We've seen it used an insurmountable amount of times by companies that attempt to bring in as many customers as physically possible in the shortest amount of time. Sure. We saw it with Bang, who simply plastered their logo over some fun-looking TikToks, and with Boo, who used their influencers to convince countless people that their magic dirt would be a cure-all. Yes, influencers...
The fuck is magic dirt? What's happening right now? What the fuck? Okay, magic
seem to be one of the most effective tools of marketing as of right now, and these big companies are typically aware of it, and to a degree, the influencers are too. At some point, a lot of those influencers seem to catch on to one key thing. They don't need to be advertising for other people when they could advertise for themselves. Like we saw with Brittany Dawn, people have taken advantage of this new form of building your own empire, and unfortunately with that comes a plethora of new scams. Take Dana Chanel, for example. Just like Brittany, she's being sued by her home state, Pennsylvania. Only this time, it isn't for selling one-size-fits-all fitness plans. It's for scamming customers with the promise of credit repair and marketing services. 2 of her businesses claimed that they would provide personalized products to small businesses to help them promote their business, products, or services. Sometimes this could cost roughly $2,000. Small problem though, a lot of them never received that product, and when they tried to get refunds, they were ignored. Some never got the app they were promised after spending over $200 a month. Instead, they were sent a business marketing manager pamphlet. That's it. Then there is her credit company, which told customers they could offer guidance to businesses looking to grow their credit scores. Packages cost anywhere from $100 to $300 and included extra charges and fees every month. Again, people claimed that they were never given such services. And when they paid for Chanel's companies to handle disputes, that also never happened. Once again, we see a prime example of an influencer scamming people desperate for their help. But no industry seems riper for scams than that of Brittany Dawn's, fitness influencers. Everything on social media is a kind of advertising for the self. That's what business analyst Ben Labe has to say. Fitness influencers in particular do everything they can to make their lives, their bodies, and their specific workout plans to be perfect. And
yeah, I mean, that's just influencers in general, no? They do the best to show the best of their lives, so you think that they have like this amazing, glorious life. Obviously, the workout part's exclusive to fitness people, but then that's what happens. You get like this weird feedback from like the audience, or rather the audience gets this idea that like this person's incredible, and they think that they're perfect, and then they don't realize that they're actually struggling on the other end, potentially, which hurts the individual that potentially might be struggling. I'm just talking about general influencers. And then it also hurts the viewer because they feel like, why isn't my life as good as this? And they just start to like build up like a frustration and a resentment and like a desire to be a fucking influencer instead of like, get a real job and just be happy working that,
If they get good enough at this, they can start selling you things, regardless of whether it works or not. Like everything, fitness influencing is a job. As one person states, look, this is a business and I punch in and punch out each time I sent a picture. What I write is basically marketing copy. I'm pushing product at you. Do I think the stuff I push works? Some of it does, sure. Many of them just don't care if what they're selling you is effective. It's just that it gets more clicks, views, and of course, money. Hell, one lifestyle and nutrition influencer by the name of Belle Gibson even lied about having cancer to...
Belle Gibson? What the fuck? Not Mel Gibson? That's interesting. Okay. All right.
sell holistic diet books,
wow,
making over $400,000 in doing so until she was eventually caught in her lie and thankfully sued to oblivion. Over the years, we have seen news stories about influencers using fake weights in their workout videos to grow their following and improve their lives. We've seen videos where fitness influencers modify their posing, lighting, and outfits just to trick people into believing before and after shots to sell a workout plan or a dream lifestyle to the masses.
I mean, that's like normal as fuck, unfortunately. You know, remember all those commercials of the before and afters on TV? That's literally all they did to everybody, is they did the same thing. They would just like, they did a lot of photoshopping. This is like somewhat common knowledge. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of somewhat true, yeah.
Over time, it has happened again and again, with more proof coming out that many, but not all, fitness influencers are lying to you. Brittany Dawn just happened to take it one step further by scamming her followers out of thousands and thousands of dollars. But it's safe to say that you should take everything with a grain of salt. Doing some research never hurts, and if you want to rely on a personal trainer or nutritionist, going to someone with proven training would be the best bet. Still, even when influencers are caught scamming their customers, they can simply pivot. A lot of the time, this brings them to a whole new array of people and opens the door for brand new schemes. Products that they can sell. And for Brittany, that meant becoming a Christian influencer out of nowhere.
It's possible she might be doing the Christian grift, or maybe she just is turning to it to try to be rather. It may be a financial grift. It could also just be in like a moral grift. It's like, oh, but I'm Christian now. I'm reformed. You know.
I know it sounds a little odd to hear that a person that scammed thousands of people, married a man who was sued by the ACLU for police brutality, and allegedly wanted to shoot her dog after it was hit by a car, spontaneously decides to start being.
What do you mean allegedly? I thought you said that they were actually shot the dog. I'm a little confused now. Wait, what?
Police brutality and allegedly wanted to shoot her dog after it was hit by a car, spontaneously decided.
I could have swore that you said that he did shoot the dog. I mean, what he did to that guy was fucked. I watched that, but like, I'm a little confused here. Okay.
Decides to start being a Christian, but that's kind of exactly what happened.
I don't know. Just some of the presentation of information. The information might be correct, but the presentation is something off about it for me. I don't know, man. It's just like a little weird, you know? Like, maybe I'm being too skeptical, but... Okay.
As complaints began pouring in about Brittany's fitness program and it became almost certain that she had scammed her followers, she took a brief break, posting nothing and going virtually silent. But soon, she reemerged and everyone slowly began to take notice that everything about her had changed. No longer was she focused primarily on fitness as she had been in the past. She was now focused on her Christian faith. As people began to point out these stark differences in her pre-scam content versus post-scam, she finally decided to respond by posting a video that announced to the world, quote, "Fitness and health are no longer my identity. My identity is in Christ. You guys know that I went into a season of hiding when everything happened. I heard God say, stop trying to hide what I'm using." And just like that, she had joined the growing brand on social media of women virtually selling religion. What a phrase. What a fucking phrase. Now, I say it like that because it's kind of what it is. It's one thing to speak for your love of religion online and gain hundreds of followers, but it's a completely different thing to use that religion to sell something, which...
Well, that's what the Catholic Church does, no? I mean, I feel like that's just par for the fucking course, right? Like, what's new? Like, is that not, like, I mean, fuck, you know? But okay.
That's kind of what Brittany's now doing. In addition to completely changing her branding, narrative, and lifestyle for her newfound calling, Brittany decided to create her own ministry named She Lives Freed.
Wow.
On their website, the About page says it was founded after Brittany radically changed her life and is meant to share the gospel of Jesus, cultivate a community of sisters, and walk alongside women into freedom through the love of our Savior. And of course, all of those things, just like any good old religion, well, it's going to cost money. And that's at least if you want to go to the retreat. The ticket prices can range, and the length of the retreats ranges too. If you feel so inclined, you can go to a 2-day event, but it will cost you about $600, which, by the way, does not include travel, so plan for that too. If you're looking for a quicker getaway, you can do a 1-day pass, which can cost you over $100, with the prices ranging on what type of experience you want.
Hate this.
If you want some extra little tokens on your trip, like a Bible with hand-painted flowers, that will indeed cost you some more money, $67 to $97 to be exact. And if you want some coffee, that's extra too. In fact, those $100 tickets pretty much just get you into the building and a nice glass of water, and that's about it. As people gather around the lavishly decorated venues, some followers can be seen wearing jackets saying "Yahweh, not my way" or "You can't cancel me" stickers. Then, as the retreat commences, Brittany makes her entrance, introducing herself to almost everyone in the room. As she should, since this is her retreat after all, but you know, whatever. It's kind of a weird kind of ego thing going on. Unfortunately, that's about all the attendees see of her, as she only appears for one panel and then just drifts away into the distance, never to be seen again. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the whole point of this retreat to hear or see the person leading it? She doesn't talk or give a sermon, a little speech. She just kind of says hi, sits at her little panel, and then goes about her day. Everything about that seems wildly concerning to me. But for the women that attended the event, none of this mattered, apparently. They were aware of who Brittany was, of her past, and they just didn't care. They were there for this new experience, apparently. That's all. Many found her after her scandal, and her easily digestible, aesthetically pleasing guide to happiness brought people out in masses. She never addresses her past scandals and focuses solely on this new life. But not everyone is as thrilled, or at least as forgiving, for this new pivot. Many of them saw it as yet another scam, a way to continue making money without repercussions, to find a new following, or a more forgiving following. One of her former followers, named Shanna Samuel, called the new pivot a weapon to escape culpability. Her inability to discuss her past or acknowledge it to her new followers is seen by some as a massive red flag. Some say that if she were truly sorry or had truly changed, she would be facing things that she had done head-on, and she would be held more accountable since pivoting her branding. Maybe she has changed. Maybe this isn't just a rebranding opportunity, but the sudden shift from one role as an influencer to another seems awfully fishy to me, and it's opened a whole new wormhole of problems that is also huge in influencer culture: spreading conspiracy theories. And we're going to take a look at some of those conspiracy theories after we thank today's sponsors.
We're going to do we're going to do a conspiracy theory now? All right. All right, I guess.
Brilliant is the best way to learn
A lot of ads in here. All right, brilliant, guys. Best way to learn what?
math, science, and computer science interactively.
Sounds cool. Go check it out, guys. Oh, that's a lot of this ad. Okay, conspiracy theory influencers. Is this like a different person? Wait, we just kind of ended it? That was it? The Christian pivot? So it pivoted to her. Oh, we're still in the ad. Now we're doing conspiracy theory influencers? So I guess the video is over. Basically, this person, Brittany Dawn, was a Christian, a fitness influencer who wasn't good. I don't know if she tried to scam people. I mean, some people are saying that she's trying to scam people for money. That would be the side against her, saying that she's a bad person because she married a guy that's a police officer that committed a brutality, which, you know, typical police officer, am I right? And then I guess wanted to shoot the dog after it got hit by a car, which isn't really that big of a deal to me, because if it was like a really fucked up position, you know, you shoot it or you take it to the hospital. If that's a shoot it, or, you know, they shoot it with drugs, but 6 and 1/2 dozen the other, almost. Just kind of sad stuff. But she obviously wasn't equipped to sell her program. So some people would say that she did it maliciously. Some people would say that she was overwhelmed because so many people like tacked on to her. And then she moved over to selling Christian stuff. I don't know if it's a scam or not. Maybe she did actually find Jesus, you know, loving Jesus, or maybe she's just doing it for the grift. And now we're on to a conspiracy theory influencers. Like what? Okay.
Lifestyle influencers, unfortunately, have been peddling conspiracy theories for quite some time now. Upsettingly, it just seems to grow as more and more people gain a massive following. From QAnon conspiracy theories to the oh-so-wonderful plandemic theories, influencers seem to be spreading these harmful and inaccurate messages far and wide. Some have even made the conspiracy theories their entire brands, leaving lucrative marketing deals to do so. Others continue posting things from QAnon while simultaneously working with major brands like Nordstrom, Nike, and Aerie. Before, pushing dangerous rhetoric was sure to be the end of your career, but nowadays it may just be the beginning, and sponsors, even the big ones, don't seem to blink an eye when it happens. Brittany Dawn has herself dabbled in a little conspiracy theory here and there. Do you remember a few years ago when everyone decided that Wayfair was apparently engaging in child trafficking? The theory was literally everywhere. Now, while it started mostly on Twitter and Reddit with users posting unusual...
This is still about Brittany? How is it still about Brittany? Like, what is it that it's still about her? I don't understand that. Okay.
Usually priced materials and corresponding names of missing children for products on websites, the theory soon jumped into the world of influencers, and they spread it far and wide. For a short period of time, you couldn't open a single social media platform without seeing the shocking claims. People with hundreds of thousands of followers were spreading the news, and not surprisingly, thousands of people believed them. The disinformation from social media campaigns like this can be wildly concerning, especially when it's something as serious and horrific as child trafficking. Obviously, Wayfair released a statement that they were certainly not engaging in this horrible act and removed most of the items before returning them with more accurate pricing and in-depth descriptions of each. But Wayfair wasn't the only time that Brittany decided to post about something that was just maybe a little off.
Oh. She posted about Wayfair?
She also just had to comment on the horrifying tragedy at Travis Scott's Astroworld. Instead of calling it what it was, poor planning, a lack of consideration for concert guests, and a terrible accident, Brittany decided it was something else entirely. This was apparently a satanic event.
Oh, I mean, I'm not really surprised that like a Christian would say that. I don't really care. A lot of people died. Maybe it was satanic. I don't know. That's just okay. Sure.
In fact, in the video, she posted that she called virtually all music, but particularly rap and hip hop music, satanic, except for Christian music, of course, because it's godly. And
well, listen. Of course, Christian music would be considered godly. No, like I mean, that's that's true. I'm just saying, like, it's literally Christian music. That would make it godly, but okay.
And listen, the Astroworld incident was atrocious and heartbreaking, but it was an array of incredibly unfortunate events and actions taken by a company. It was not satanic, and saying so feels like a massive insult to the people that lost their lives.
Probably. Honestly, no, I don't think so. Unless she's saying that God wanted it to happen. I don't really think that there's any level of disrespect that you could assign to this situation. Just like really fucked up. It's terrible. It's tragic.
Additionally, calling a predominantly black genre of music satanic, it also specifically rubs me the wrong way. It's been said over and over, and every time I can't help but wonder if equating a genre specifically built to address the struggle, pain, or even joy of black people to Satanism has a little more to do with how people feel about that demographic.
Listen, I'm not gonna... Listen. All right, let's be real here. There are some subsections of rap. I don't really know about Travis Scott's music. I've never watched. I don't really give a fuck. But just fundamentally, there are some aspects of rap that are like not good, that literally advocate for gang violence, and like gang members will antagonize each other through the music and then brag about like disrespecting each other. So, let's remove the blackness from it and just understand that not all rap music's like that. I'm just saying, that is a real thing. What do they call it? I forget. Trap music or something. We don't have to. I mean, maybe there is a racism. She married a guy that beat the fuck out of a black guy, so it's possible. But just saying.
Than the actual music itself. But either way, that's just my opinion. But I digress. Either way, influencers spreading conspiracy theories and harmful messaging is wildly concerning. We've seen how much people trust them. Even when someone has no background, no experience, and no expertise in a certain topic, people listen or give them money to instruct them in matters the influencer knows nothing about.
True.
Brittany Dawn is just the most recent one to be called out for this behavior, but in all likelihood, there will be more. So if an influencer tries to sell you a service, make sure you brush up on their background. If you want to buy a fitness plan from your favorite fitness influencer, that's totally fine. But if they don't have the adequate training, then maybe you should be a little bit aware of that and think about it before you just want to hand them over hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for something.
Is it called drill music? Okay. Yeah.
Something that they can't adequately work with you on. But again, at the end of the day, it's your money, so ultimately you're going to have to do what makes you happy. I just don't want you, your friends, your family, or anyone you're acquaintances with to be scammed by someone unnecessarily. But with all of
I'd rather them get scammed unnecessarily.
that being said, that's where we're going to end today's episode of Multi-Level Mondays. I hope you learned something new today, and if you did, make sure that you're liking, following, and subscribing to stay up to date on all the latest information. Thank you again so much for joining me. I do appreciate it, and
yeah, sure. That was an interesting video.
I want Papa God to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.